Boom! Today I'm going to go through 4 habits to help you finish the PMP faster and with a bigger smile on your face during the study process and obviously at the end. We're talking grinning from ear to ear, all right? So one of the cool things about being in my position is you get to see hundreds and hundreds and thousands of students come through. And for most all of them, we are the point, boop, boop, that changes everything. They come from like being disorganized and all over the place and lost and, struggling to like, boom, getting on the straight and narrow. Shoo, they go directly to their PMP in a certain number of weeks or months at the most, okay? So if you are in my spot and you got to see these people come through here, after a while of interviewing over and over these students, you would see certain patterns. You see certain things that are characteristic of the people that are struggling, and you'd be able to classify them, clean them up, and fix them. So that's what I've been able to do, and that's why I want to tell you this. All right, so a lot of the students that come to us, like they're all well-intentioned, they're all working super duper hard, and as you're out there, just see if these patterns exist in your life, right? The one thing that these people have is that they are working really, really hard, but they are all over the place. They're studying a bunch of different resources. They're trying their hand at this, that, and the other. They're trying to grab at all kinds of like life rings and see if they work. And then the other thing that they do is they're studying non-stop. They're studying every single second of the day, on the way to work, when they're coming home, listening in the car, doing all these things. They are grasping at straws time-wise, and they're wearing themselves out. Now, the number one habit that we see successful students have is that they're very realistic with themselves. We ask the question, hey, how much time realistically can you actually study? Now, we are studying for the relative long term. It won't take us a long term to get through it, but we want to study for like what can we sustain in like the agile sense in a sprinting position, right? How can we go day after day and not have every day drag us further down into the pot? We want something that is repeatable. The people that are successful out there have a stable, predictable study schedule that's actually realistic. So that's habit number 1, stable, study schedule that's realistic. Now, if you can only do 12 hours a week or 8 hours a week or 15 or 7, whatever it is, that is your sweet spot. We've got to challenge what's realistic, but we've got to lock it down. So you got to have stability to be like, hey, I study from 8 a.m. to 9:30 in the morning or 8 p.m. to 9:30. Whatever it is, lock it down in your schedule and make it like a job. That's number 1. So repeatable, stable study schedule is a great habit. Otherwise, you're going to be running left, right, and center, and you get worn out, and that kills your brain. Number 2 habit is, when you are studying, you're locked in. You are locked in, laser focused. There's no distractions or minimize distractions. You got a busy life. I got a busy life. Everybody's got a busy life. But we're trying to limit those distractions. You're talking to your family. You're talking to your kids best you can. You're talking to your boss. You're talking to whomever. You're talking to mostly yourself to say, hey, dude, when I'm here, you heard my phone go off a couple seconds ago. You probably did, right? You heard that notification that just popped on my phone. Like, you got to lock those things out and be like, I'm studying for an hour. I'm studying for 45 minutes. I'm studying for an hour and a half. Whatever it is, you're locked in and you're focused on the learning style that works best for you. Okay? So if you're a reader, read. If you're a visual person, that's it. If you're audio, you're listening to a book, me or whatever, your podcast or whatever you're doing. If you're a talk it through person, you're scheduling coaching times in your study time. So you're locked in, going at the path on the pace, like the studying style that works for you, okay? So if we do that, we're going to have a stable, predictable schedule that brings simplicity to our life, comfort, and security. If we study and we're locked in to a learning style that works for us, then we get the most out of every second. Does that make sense so far? Now, third habit that I see is that people who do really well learn it like they're going to teach it. So they're not just piling and pouring information in their body. They are doing it and constantly refining and acting like, how would I teach this? How would I explain this? How would I make this simpler for somebody else? That's a habit that they constantly have. They're stopping themselves and saying, what does this really mean? We try to do it with students all the time. What does this really mean? How would this work? How would I explain it to the people that are below us? Now, one of the problems that people have is that they feel like they're not good enough to teach. That you must be up on like Mount Olympus at the top before you can actually teach somebody else something. That's not true. First of all, if y'all are on the same ground and you simplify something for somebody, that's even better for them. Oh yeah, that's a great way to explain it. I can explain that to other people. So even if you're eye to eye with a person and you simplify something for them, they benefit. Now, if they're a little bit behind you, that's even awesomer. You look like, think about it like a 4-year-old looks at a 5-year-old, like the 5-year-old's 45, right? Like, oh my God, this person's a year older than me. Oh my goodness. So just because you are on the path of learning doesn't mean that you can't teach others. You're essentially teaching yourself. This is a mental model that I'm putting in your brain. A habit. It's like when you learn, you pause and you say, how would I explain this? Because it's going to cause you to ask yourself different questions. Why does this matter? How does this apply? How would it help us? How would it hurt us? How could it fail? All these things. You're trying to get 360 around it, okay? So, third thing is we learn like we're going to teach, all right? And the last one, number 4, the habit that we have is that people who do really well and finish quickly, they take ownership of what's actually happening in their process, their study process. All right? Sounds obvious, but like really ask yourself. A lot of people make excuses. My boss is crazy. Work is wild. I can't do it. It's not a perfect time. Oh, people interrupted me. Oh, the materials or whatever. Oh, the questions aren't written in the right way that I want them to be written. Oh, this answer isn't exactly what we do at XYZ Corporation. All these things. They're looking for excuses because excuses in the short term bring comfort. Oh, no. I can't put the mirror on myself. It's somebody else's fault. And believe me, everybody else out there is not perfect. So they suck. But reality is that we need to look at ourselves and say like, all right, was I not locked in? Did I not establish a schedule? Am I not trying to teach it to myself? Am I not reaching out when I can't figure it out? That's a big one. The 5th habit is they reach out for help. So that's a bonus one that I just forgot to put in there at the beginning. But right now is the ownership of saying like, while I'm learning, when I miss a question, I don't, PMI's stupid. PMI's trying to trick me. Whatever. It's like, dude, what do I not see yet? What in my process am I need to get through? Because if you start identifying rocks and removing them, then you can get a ton better. So let's go through them again to 4, and then I'll bump on that 5th one. Number 1, stable study schedule. What is predictable? What is repeatable? Because you do not want to end up a weekend like, raccoon eyes with like, oh my God, I haven't slept in 47, I haven't slept more than 45 minutes at night. No. Stable, predictable. Turn the speakers up a little bit so you go a little bit faster than you think, but something that's repeatable. Number 2, when you are studying, you are locked in. No distractions. You're learning in the way you like to learn with a learning style. You are locked in. And then number 3, while you're learning, you are reflecting on the content. You're learning like you're going to teach somebody. Even if it's like a kid, you're trying to explain things in a simpler way, meaning you're involved in the process. You're refining. Number 4 is we take ownership of every single thing we do while we go, right? Hey, if we missed a study, session, if we weren't locked in, if we got distracted, if we keep missing questions because we're not like reflecting enough, we take ownership. And it doesn't mean whoosh, beat yourself. It means think through root cause. And then number 5 is the number 1 habit that people have, that people that pass quickly and effectively and actually get something out of it is that they ask for help when they need it. Now, it is nothing wrong with asking for help, but like if you have a real problem, if you're getting stumbled up, those people you reach out. Hey, dude, how can you help me? And like while I live on the internet in a sense business-wise and putting content out there to help you and all this stuff, like I think one-to-one relationships, small group relationships are the best. Like that is where the real learning occurs. Because they can look and listen to the way you say stuff, how you say stuff, what you said in the past, how you move forward, how you explain stuff. They can give you encouragement and direction and support and all those things. So when you ask for help, it's best to have someone that is a teensy bit down the road from you, cares about you and that will actually actively listen to the questions you have. Because if you're always looking for like hit a button, get an answer, there's not a work together with it, if that makes sense. There's not someone that's going to say, well, tell me what you think now so that I can help you modify and tweeze and do all those things. So that's why we do coaching calls all the time. Small groups, big groups, middle groups, one-on-ones. We do whatever it takes to get people through. But as you're out there looking, are you being like, dude, I'm all over the place. I'm studying whenever I can, all over studying everything, every single minute. Am I doing that? Am I letting ding? I don't know if you could hear it because my computer does that little notification thing. I guess I got an email. Am I being distracted? Am I not learning like I'm a teacher? Am I learning like I'm just a student? Am I like not blaming others? PMI is bullshit. All these other things. Like, am I blaming others? And am I, tentative to ask for assistance? If those things are, one or many, you need to flip the script. Be the hero of your story. Flip it. Dude, what is my schedule? Lay it out. Get your sponsor to approve it, whether at work or at home or yourself. Approve it and then hold yourself to it. And think about it this way. Every time you wake up and you follow your schedule, that's a win. So we want to stack up those baby wins. That's what the schedule does. And then also, hey, dude, win number 2. When I was there, I was locked in. Win number 2. So that's the habit. Number 3, learning like you're going to teach. Like, I talk to myself all the time. Yes, I'm crazy. But like, you can too. You can crazy too. Like, go out there and try to explain it. Like, just talk it out. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to judge you in your little office, in your little room. Try to explain it like you have somebody in front of you, or get somebody and try to explain it. Simple as that. And then as you hit bumps, which every single one of us will, and you will too, you take ownership and say, what is the reason why I'm having this problem? Who could I go to? And number 5, lean into the right people, ask for the help, and have that back and forth. Don't look for silver bullets. Look for deep, root cause type, getting better type help. So those are the 5 habits that if I had to magic wand it, I would want for you. If you want help making these habits like locked in and you want a partner in doing it, you can reach out to me. I got a ton of teachers, coaches, support people, other students that are in the fight with you that are all trying to live these habits as well. And we're all going to do it together. So, PMMasterPrep.com, Scott at PMMasterPrep, or 757-759-5282. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get your PMB. See you soon. Adios.